In this post-apocalyptic world, there was a team dedicated to helping others against all odds. They called out daily over the radio for those in need of help. However, survivors were extremely wary and didn't trust that anyone would genuinely offer assistance. In the end, the first survivor, Logan, asks for their help, but tricks them into going deeper into the mountains, nearly killing them. Logan then occupied their home base. After Morgan's team escaped the radiation and flew back, Logan told them the gasoline was deteriorating and proposed a partnership to find the gasoline left by Clayton. After witnessing the miracle of their airplane that night, countless survivors realized there was indeed a team genuinely helping others. From then on, more and more people began to seek their help over the radio. Logan was right about one thing: the gasoline was indeed deteriorating. But after his deception, they could no longer trust him. They left Logan on the roadside with some supplies. Following the addresses in Clayton's journal, they indeed found an oil field with two of Clayton's partners still producing oil. Knowing that Morgan and his team were continuing Clayton's mission, they supported them unconditionally. Sarah and Wendell took charge of driving the tanker, transporting gasoline every few weeks. An armored vehicle constantly guarded the tanker for safety. With the support of gasoline, Morgan's convoy gradually expanded, dividing into groups to help others every day. Morgan's conviction brought about a change in the team, embodying what truly matters in a post-apocalyptic world. Alicia also started learning stick fighting from Morgan. Since Alicia killed that radioactive zombie, she's never killed a zombie again. Victor carried Alicia's signature weapon for her protection. The entire team moved from place to place, yet to find a suitable settlement. Naomi took on a managerial role within the convoy. It's worth mentioning Daniel, the smartest among them. Daniel said on camera that people like Logan should be shot as soon as he opens his mouth and not be allowed to say a word more. Otherwise, there will be a lot of trouble in the future. As they helped others, the team also welcomed new members. Growing in size, they sat around a campfire, eating and laughing, creating an atmosphere reminiscent of the time before the apocalypse. All these moments were recorded by the camera. Each person conveyed a message through the camera: if you are in trouble, contact us anytime. Under Morgan's leadership, this team became a beautiful sight in the post-apocalyptic world. Althea had created a documentary from their videos of helping others, and Morgan placed the tapes at every truck stop. Coincidentally, a man had just finished watching this documentary. He ate some food from the boxes and noticed the radio next to the TV, which had a note saying to contact Channel 4 if in trouble. Wes, after much hesitation, only took the radio without intending to contact Morgan's team. In this post-apocalyptic world, trusting others was considered foolish. Wes found gasoline in the box and headed straight to his motorcycle, intending to fill it up and leave. Just then, two vehicles approached on the road. Realizing something was amiss, Wes knew it was too late to leave. The people who got out were Logan and his group. Wes's first words were that he didn't want any trouble. Logan replied he didn't either, then threw a pair of shoes in front of Wes, saying, "You made me walk 200 kilometers. Logan accused them of taking away the gasoline and not being able to enjoy the results of the roads he and Clayton had cleared. Wes looked confusedly at Logan. Logan's guards then took all of Wes's belongings, even siphoning the gasoline he had just added to his motorcycle. Logan demanded the location of the oil field, saying Wes could leave if he told him. Wes replied he didn't know what Logan was talking about. Realizing Wes wasn't part of Morgan's team, Logan prepared to leave with Wes's supplies, instructing his men to ensure Wes couldn't follow them. The woman beside Logan, understanding his intent, lifted her automatic rifle. Wes initially thought they were about to execute him, but instead, the woman shot and damaged the tires of his motorcycle. Wes, heartbroken over his damaged vehicle, was about to speak when his car endured a barrage of bullets for several seconds, leaving it completely destroyed. Before leaving, Logan tossed the radio to Wes, suggesting he could ask Morgan's team for help, and mockingly added to tell Morgan they had endless bullets. Wes could only watch helplessly as they drove away. Elsewhere, Alicia and Victor were wandering outside. Alicia was intrigued by graffiti she saw on many trees, which read, "If you're seeing this, it means you're still alive." Alicia would very much like to meet the person who drew these. These messages gave her an unexplained sense of encouragement. While she was observing them, a zombie appeared behind her. Alicia, somewhat at a loss, called out for Victor but received no response. Ever since developing a fear, Alicia had been apprehensive about killing zombies. Just as the zombie pounced on her, Alicia hesitated to kill it and could only use her hands to hold off its neck. Fortunately, Victor arrived just in time to eliminate the zombie. Victor easily dispatched a few more zombies that appeared. Alicia was unsure how to overcome her fear. Back in the car, Victor mentioned their gasoline was running low and suggested returning to the convoy. However, Alicia was still keen on finding the person who made the graffiti, hoping it might help her break through her mental barrier. At that moment, a man's voice came through the radio. Alicia responded. The man, hearing her voice, directly called out Alicia's name. Victor guessed he must have seen their documentary. The man introduced himself as Wes and asked for a ride home. After a while, Victor and Alicia reached the rescue site. Wes, having little faith in people who do good deeds while publicizing them, had only sought their help out of desperation. All he wants is for Victor to take him home, where his brother is waiting for him. On the way, Wes learned about Alicia's search for the graffiti artist. He advised her that finding the person might not change anything, as some things were just imagination. They arrived at a police station where Wes thanked them for the ride and went inside to greet his brother. Victor and Alicia stayed outside to help move the motorcycle, but soon gunshots were heard from inside. A man with a gunshot wound to his abdomen ran out, followed by Wes with a gun. Victor quickly intervened to stop Wes's pursuit. The wounded man had already driven off in their car. Breaking through the barrier, Wes frantically chased after the car, firing shots, but could only watch as the man drove away. The gunshots quickly attracted zombies. The nearby zombies were quickly attracted by the commotion. Wes took out a weapon backpack from the police station, but surprisingly, the gun in his hand failed to kill any zombies even after several shots. Alicia reminded them that they were anti-riot weapons with limited lethality. Victor fired his first shot, only to realize it was tear gas. More zombies gathered around, forcing them to retreat into the police station. Victor was choking on tear gas and had tears streaming down his face, but he forced himself to kill the zombies as well. They took shelter inside the police station, where Alicia helped Victor clear his eyes, allowing him to see a bit more clearly. Victor and Alicia realized they had been deceived by Wes. This was not his home. Wes had come here to kill that man. Wes explained that the man had stolen his stuff, and he needed to get it back. Killing him would be ideal. He admitted he did have a brother, but he had died at the onset of the apocalypse. Victor, lying in bed, said they needed to find the injured man quickly, or he would bleed to death. Wes looked at them in disbelief. It was the other man who had stolen from him first, but Alicia and Victor, influenced by Morgan, didn't care about these issues. They only wanted to help others. However, the exit was heavily surrounded by zombies. Wes mockingly said to Alicia, "You can't even kill a single zombie, let alone a group." Clearly, Wes thought Alicia was a weak and incapable woman, with no other choice. Alicia used the radio to call Morgan, knowing it was risky to reveal their location over the radio, as Logan could be listening. She explained the urgency. A man had been shot and needed help, and they were trapped by zombies. She hoped for a rescue and told Morgan the direction the man had driven off in. Althea and Morgan immediately followed the road in search of the injured man, but not far along, they encountered a roadblock set up by Logan and his group, who had overheard the radio conversation. Logan deliberately blocked the road to prevent their rescue, demanding Morgan reveal the location of the oil field, or else let the injured man slowly bleed to death. Logan and his people stated they were in no hurry, but the injured man might not survive until rescue arrived. Morgan tried to negotiate with them, hoping to reason with them to let them pass. Morgan asked Logan what he needed the oil field for. Logan replied that it was none of their business. He believed what he was doing was more important and would help more people in the future, though his methods were something they wouldn't like. Morgan was aware that the injured man couldn't wait much longer. However, he also understood that although he didn't know Logan's exact plans, allowing him access to the oil field would put many more people at risk. Morgan decided to look for another way. Logan's next words deeply angered Morgan. Logan said that helping others wouldn't lessen Morgan's guilt for not being able to save his wife and son. Clearly, Logan and his people had watched their documentary. Morgan's wife and son were his most sensitive subjects, and in the past, Morgan wouldn't have hesitated to act against anyone who mentioned them. Fortunately, Morgan restrained himself and did not react violently. Althea witnessed Morgan's fury for the first time. Meanwhile, inside the police station, Wes told Alicia that the post-apocalyptic world was just like that. People are inherently selfish. If I don't kill him, someone else will. That's just how society is now, he said. However, Alicia countered, "We can choose not to be like that and try to help others." At that moment, Morgan informed Alicia over the radio that they were being held up by Logan and couldn't reach the injured man. Alicia gathered usable weapons from the police station, preparing to break out with Victor. She took her weapon and got ready to fight. Victor's eyes are still a blur. Seeing Alicia's determination, Wes offered to help. He grabbed a weapon, climbed over the wall of the sports field, and began shooting zombies from the outside. Fortunately, there were enough weapons in the bag to eliminate all the zombies. It was just a matter of time. Only one zombie was left at the door. Alicia tried to adjust her mindset, but the shadows of her past experiences lingered in her mind. Victor stepped in to take down the zombie for her. Victor's vision was too impaired to see the distant scene clearly. The last two zombies at the door were eliminated by Wes, who had arrived just in time. They soon found the car driven by the man on the side of the road. On the distant highway was the man, staggering unsteadily. Evidently, they were too late. The man had already turned into a zombie. Alicia informed Morgan of this situation. Wes didn't care about the man's fate. He was only concerned about whether his belongings were still there. Approaching the man from behind, Wes frowned when the man turned around. The man threw a backpack at Wes and then tackled him to the ground, clutching Wes's neck fiercely. In desperation, Wes grabbed a small knife from the ground and stabbed the man in the abdomen again. The man, until his death, couldn't believe that Wes was chasing him just for a manuscript. The man's last words were a compliment on the writing before he died. Wes threw the manuscript aside and finished the man off with the knife. Alicia questions Wes's behavior, asking him if he killed for a manuscript. Wes remarked, "You made me act with kindness just now. Maybe I really shouldn't have contacted you. This world doesn't need right or wrong." Wes walked away, leaving the manuscript behind. Alicia asked if he didn't want his manuscript. Wes replied that since the man died for it, it should stay with him. Alicia opened the manuscript that had caused a life to be lost. It was apparently written by Wes for his brother, which explained why he valued it so much. In it, Alicia found the same phrase that was on the trees. "If you see it, it proves you're still alive." Wes was the person she had been looking for all along. Indeed, they found paint in Wes's motorcycle. Alicia tried her hand at graffiti on a tree, but modified the words, "As long as you're alive, there's hope for anyone." After this incident, Alicia's mental block was lifted, and she no longer had a shadow over killing zombies. The warrior goddess had fully returned.